Your family will depend on it. PowrPlay, the hottest coverage of the coolest game in Augusta from the television home of the Lynx. News 12's PowrPlay is brought to you by International Paper, Jones Dealer Group, and Windsor Jewelers. To catch all of the hockey action, you're in the right place.
I have been so lonely the last couple of weeks, but not this morning. Hello, and welcome to PowrPlay. I am Paul Davis, and for the first time in many, many weeks, I'll be joined in person by Lynx play-by-play star Jerry Cannan and head coach Dan Weeb. We've got lots of ground to cover, so let's get started without any further ado. Our PowrPlay lineup goes like this. Like a broken record, here we go again, talking about the Lynx battling the Florida Everblades. This morning, we've got highlights from the News 12 TV game on Wednesday, and then the rematch on Friday. After that, the head coach of the Lynx, Mr. Dan Weeb, will stop by and try not to blow his stack as we pepper him with questions about his hockey club. I don't think he's in a very good mood, or maybe he is this morning. And from there, we'll revisit with player coach Darren Colburn. He is the Lynx in the spotlight. We had him on earlier this year, but now with his career coming to a close, we'll talk again. And you'll love this week's behind-the-scenes segments. It's all about another Lynx player, along with his very talented wife. The Judds are one special married couple. That is this morning's PowrPlay lineup. Get ready to enjoy. Back here on the anchor desk, and I always seem to be just a tad happier when Jerry Cannan is here. Welcome back. I'm going to ask you, do you have any eligibility left? Can you play hockey?
I don't want to suit up against the Florida Everblades, Paul, even if I could play the game.
You know, with the way the Lynx have been going, the Everblades just the worst team that they could be trying to find some confidence against.
Yeah, the hottest team in the league, the Florida Everblades, unfortunately take it to us 4 times in the last 2 weeks.
Here's the game that we did on St. Patty's Day. Early in the first, the 4-3 PowrPlay Masons pass to Colburn.
Darren Colburn puts the biscuit in the basket, Paul, and it's 1-0 Augusta.
Career goal 3-2-2 for Darren. As you said, Jerry, it's 1-zip later. You can tell they've seen this team a lot lately.
Yeah, and Chris Thompson's never afraid of anyone. He and Steve Tardif, kind of an unusual opponent, and they didn't really get the flurries off that they wanted, I know.
Lynx struggling most of the year on the PowrPlay, but not on this sequence. Eventually, the puck stops on the stick of Wes Mason, and he gets it done.
Yeah, nice roofer on the wrist shot there. You could even see the water bottle move there, Paul.
And the period would end 2-1 Lynx with the advantage. Now, 49 seconds into the second period, watch what Mark DeSantis and Lars Pettersson do.
Yeah, they team up. DeSantis threw it into Pettersson. It went off the shaft of Pettersson's stick for the lead.
Third period now. The Lynx, though, with that lead, 3-1, come unglued. Kopech's pass, not the best.
I know if he could do it over again, he wouldn't do it like that. This led directly to a goal you'll see here as the Everblades come in and they throw it in.
Hugh Hamilton. Yeah, Hugh Hamilton one time to make it 3-2. Here's the replay. What about the crease, Jared?
Well, look, more importantly, was he interfering with the goaltender, and Judd Lambert immediately is protesting. I thought the same thing, that he had been interfered with.
Late in the third, Judd Lambert, the goalie, falls down.
That starts kind of an odd sequence of events here. That started it, and the Everblades are going to finish it by throwing one right in front. Demarsky throws it in. Demarsky scores 4 goals on the Augusta Lynx in his last 2 games against the team.
So we go to the shootout, and the story of the shootout is a hot goalkeeper.
Yeah, he stuffs one player after another. Here's Sam Fatorik getting stuffed. Now Wes Mason will get stoned by Magley or Diddy. And then finally, Darren Colburn tries to go top shelf glove side. It hit him right in the glove, and Magley or Diddy was big in the shootout.
Judd Lambert let 2 in, but the one that killed us was from Matt Demarsky.
Yeah, it ended up being the game winner. Demarsky getting 2 goals in the game against the Augusta Lynx on Wednesday.
So on the scoreboard, it reads 4-3. We should mention the Lynx do pick up a point for this shootout loss.
In this part of the season, though, Paul, you want 2 points. 1 point's certainly. 1 point is not going to get the Lynx where they need to be going into the playoffs.
So they take Thursday off, and then Friday they're back at work again. 4,871 at the Civic Center. And I think the youngsters have been converted, Jer, because look at I Love Hockey.
I think they have. Look at all the jerseys as well.
Go Lynx, that youngster's banner says, and then that's Jumpin' Jack. Midriff Bulge. Third period, we pick it up. It's tied at 3. Mike Valley in goal, playing well.
Yeah, he really is playing well at this point. Gave up a lot of rebounds early in the game, but kind of settled down in the third period, and what you'll see is one opportunity after another here by both teams. There, Ken Ruddock calls down Kevin McDonald to kind of get things going in the period as well.
Everblades kept working Valley in goal. Watch Eric Rude's shot.
Valley again makes the save with his abdomen. That time the Lynx got the rebound out of there.
And then from center ice there, the shot from, that would be our man on the ice there.
Sometimes they have to shoot it in from center ice just to get a line change or something like that, Paul. Good opportunity there off Chris Thompson's shaft. And then this leads to a 4-minute roughing penalty from Chris Thompson because out of frustration, he grabbed Magliarditti's helmet, and that came off, and that led to a 4-minute penalty for Chris Thompson. Of course, we'll talk here in a few minutes. That leads to the power play goal that won it for the Everblades.
Well, watch this. Mike Zickling had it, then Kevin McDonald, and then the dribbler to Matt Demarsky.
Oh, my, Demarsky, he's going to be in the nightmares of the Augusta Lynx goaltenders as he gets the game winner there. And you will see this is just good old-fashioned hustle by the Everblades. Zickling falls down, McDonald falls down, but at least gets it on the stick of Demarsky, who comes in and beats Valley low to the near side post.
Do we say he took Valley to the cleaners on that one?
Mike did his best he could coming in essentially on a one-on-one.
Judd Lambert having been called up to the next level, and that's why Valley got the start between the pipes. Officially again, for the second time they play, 4-3, although this one didn't need to go to a shootout. Lynx in 7 games have yet to put up a victory. You have to wonder about their confidence factor. Lynx were 2 for 7 on the power plays. The 25th win for the Everblades in the last 32 games, so they're playing extremely well, and our goals were from Ruddock, Pedersen, and Mr. Mark DeSantis. And Jerry, you're going to have to decipher these standings for me now. What's it all mean?
Well, what it means in the Southern Conference, the top 11 teams make it right now. The Augusta Lynx are in 6th position. With that 6th position, they would have home ice advantage in the first round. They would not get a first-round bye.
First-round byes are slated for April the 5th. We'll be much involved in the Masters, but we'll be keeping you posted. And then Birmingham, Jacksonville. And these teams still, if they get hot, we could be having trouble with them.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. The bottom line is the Lynx have got to start winning some hockey games down the road here.
Just so you'll know, the Lynx took on the Charlotte Checkers last night at the Civic Center. You're going to have to go ahead and flip through this morning's newspaper. They do a wonderful job and find out how things went. We tape this show every week, have been doing so since September on Saturday afternoon, Jerry.
After the break, we'll be joined by head coach Dan Wiebe. We will see if he can shed some light on the recent turn of events for his hockey club. Stick with Power Play.
All that seafood reminds me of my days in the great North Atlantic.
At Long John Silver's, our quality starts with deep water whitefish, hand battered and cooked to crunchy perfection, or breaded with our new country-style blend of spices and corn flour. Our shrimp are tender, our coleslaw fresh, our fries hot and crispy, and our hush puppies from our own special recipe. And now get all your favorites at our new seafood sampler for just $3.99.
North Atlantic, we're goldfish from Maury's Pet Store.
Long John Silver's, can't resist that crunchy stuff.
Well, it's a big deal we're talking about. Yeah, big deal. Big deal. Well, I only make big deals. Big deals, honey. I'm a big man. Honey, I do nothing that's small. Uh-oh. Better get Mako.
Car repairs aren't a big deal when you come to Mako. Free body estimates and ambassador paint service for $189.95 are the big reason to say, uh-oh, better get Mako.
You're leaking!
Now, stories you'll want to see on the next News 12 Midday.
Hi, everybody. Join us Monday for a complete look at your news, a full Storm Team 12 work week forecast. Mr. Food will be in the kitchen cooking up a storm. Look at the meat he'll have there. Dr. James Dobson has family news, and we'll celebrate 2000 News 12 style.
Don't miss these stories and more on the next News 12 Midday. Channel 12, your news station.
Welcome back to the show, and you think you're carrying around some extra baggage this morning. How would you like to be this guy? It's his job to get this Lynx team winning. Coach, it's not life or death. We're just talking hockey, but I know you're taking it pretty hard. Haven't won in 7 games. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is we're working hard. I mean, it's not like we're throwing our sticks out there and not playing. I mean, we have a good intensity level. We played Fort Myers for the last 5 games, and unfortunately we didn't do as well as we wanted. We only got 1 point out of those games, but the effort was there, and I've told our guys, listen, I can accept losses if we're working hard, and we're working hard for 60 minutes, and that's kind of the situation we're in right now. But as long as we're working hard and giving our best effort, then that's all we can do, and we have to let the chips fall where they may. Unfortunately, it's a tough time that is happening right now at this point in the season, so late in the season, where every win is a crucial win for us to maintain our position in the standings. But at the same time, our schedule lightens up somewhat over the next few games, but at the same time, we can't take it lightly. We've got to make sure that we are still giving that 100% effort.
Dan, the team has had some personnel changes here in the last few weeks, really the last month or so, maybe up even to 6 weeks. We've had some players going up and down. We have really been decimated by player call-ups. Do you think sometimes that maybe we shouldn't be affiliated with an NHL or an AHL team? Maybe we wouldn't have as many call-ups? I know there are arguments that go both ways on that.
Well, absolutely. I think I like the affiliation personally. Affiliations can work in your favor and against you. Obviously, we're getting the con of the affiliations right now, and because what happens is when your team's up above or having problems in terms of players or injuries, or if they have call-ups to the National Hockey League, then you obviously lose your players. But the pros are you get quality players at this level. This year has been a great year in the league itself for quality contract players that have been sent down to the East Coast Hockey League. Unfortunately, the second half of the season, not only us, but a lot of other teams in the league have lost players up to the American League due to injuries, call-ups, etc. And that's really affected the caliber of play in the East Coast Hockey League in the second half of the season. I was talking to Bob Ferguson, the coach of the Everblades, and he said the same thing. They went through a situation where they lost 5 players in a phone call and still haven't got all of their squad back. They're still playing very well. They had a number of other players, East Coast Hockey League contract players, that they had on their team, so they were in a little bit better shape. Whereas our situation is we have a number of affiliated players, contract players, more so than I would like to have. But overall, I'm happy with the affiliations, and they've provided us with some great players.
If you could wave a magic wand and get one guy back, opposite, who would it be?
It would have to be Obsud. I think one of our biggest weaknesses is on our defense. We've been playing with 4 defensemen since after Christmas, so we've really been struggling in that department. And I think if we had another defenseman, an offensive gifted defenseman like Yarrow, we'd be in great shape.
Coming up to the next stand, we've got 3 more coming up this week at home. Any changes on home ice, Dan, as the team has kind of struggled on home ice as of lately?
Well, part of it too is again, since January we've had a lot of call-ups, and we've been playing shorthanded with sometimes 14, sometimes 13 skaters, and that's difficult to do, whether it's on home ice or on the road. And our record since January has been affected by that because of the call-ups. So the fortunate thing again is we are playing well. In my mind, anyway, we are playing well at home. We're working hard. We're putting in a consistent effort. It's just we're kind of, whether it's fatigue or whatever in the third period, that we're kind of falling apart. If we can just hold on for that full 60 minutes, we'd be in better shape.
All right, we will let head coach Dan Weeb get back to the ice house to prepare for the next game. And as he makes his way back to the office, Paul and I will go ahead and get Power Play's next segment ready. When we return, if we return now, we'll return. This week's Links in the Spotlight might force you to get out the tissues. Darren Colburn is set to call it a career. Stay tuned.
Education touches the lives of young people by giving them the tools they need to be successful in life. That's why employees at International Paper's Augusta Mill volunteer at area schools to help educate our children. As part of this focus on education, Mill employees John Kelly and Tracy Grantham recently provided papermaking demonstrations to the students at Open Door Preschool. Helping educate students is one way Augusta Mill employees are taking the time to care.
Regular season is winding down, but they have 2 games this weekend for your enjoyment. Friday, the Lynx will face the Florida Everblades, and Saturday, the opponent will be the Charlotte Checkers. On Friday, the first 1,000 kids will receive a Beanie Baby, compliments of your Southern Chevy dealers, and Jumping Jack will also perform. He will return for Saturday night's game against the Charlotte Checkers. The Augusta Lynx, the hottest thing on ice.
Congratulations to News 12, your news station for 45 years, old as I am.
All right, Jerry Cannan back with you this morning along with Paul Davis. If you caught our TV game on Wednesday night, you saw a pretty neat feature on Lynx player coach Darren Colburn.
He is winding down an illustrious career as a pro hockey player. As for regrets, sure, he's had a few. Colburn is this week's Lynx in the Spotlight. For all of you men in the primetime Power Play audience tonight, going through that so-called midlife crisis, Lynx right winger Darren Colburn feels your pain. You see, at 31 and the oldest player on the Lynx team, Colburn has made it official. When the season is done, so is he.
This is my last kick at the can. I've been saying all along, I wanted to come to Augusta. I wanted a chance to play in a new market. I can't say anything but great things about the people of Augusta.
Colburn will have played 9 long, hard years in pro hockey, a sport like most kids growing up north of the border he picked up as a little guy. But truth be told, he anguishes over the day he decided to pass up college to play what they call in Canada major junior hockey.
I think any kid that decides to go play major junior over college hockey, if they have a chance for a scholarship, is missing a piece upstairs, because I think obviously you have a chance to do 2 things. You have a chance to get an education for free, and you have a chance to play top caliber hockey. I look back now, right now I'm 31, and I'm scrambling to go find a job. I have to go back to school, to basically what everyone has to do. I know guys that are 35 years old that are going back to school. But at this point, I wish I had gone to school.
Darren Colburn was an 11th round draft choice of the Detroit Red Wings in 1988. Never made it to the NHL, never will.
Well, I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't say, my life's over because I didn't make it to the NHL. The top 15% of all players that play hockey or less make it to the NHL. I'd say it's probably even less than that. But the thing that hurts me the most, I think, is I had the chance to do it. And I didn't do it the right way. Earlier in my career, I'm not afraid to say that my work ethic wasn't there where it should have been. Being a gifted goal scorer, you've got to put up other numbers other than goals and assists. You've got to be plus. You've got to play well on your own end. And I had the ability to do that, but I just didn't do it when I was supposed to.
Like most of us, Darren Colburn is too hard on himself. You see, into tonight's game against Florida, he stands just 3 goals shy of tying the East Coast Hockey League's career scoring record of 324.
Basically, it was my, I didn't plan on playing this long in the East Coast League. It comes out to exactly 6 seasons, 6 70-game seasons. I'm proud of what I've done. It's something that, obviously, after this year, no one else has done. But it's a career, and obviously someone who looks back and says, well, were you proud of your career? I'm going to say, yes, I was proud of my career. I just wish that I had a chance to do it at a higher level.
Player coach Darren Colburn, the man the Lynx want to handle the puck with the game on the line. So what if you never lit the lamp in the NHL? For my money, the man can still play the game. When he came to town in August, and I had no idea how good he was, and Christy Moore was saying you have to interview Darren Colburn. Yeah. He is a gamer.
He is a gamer, a phenomenal hockey player, and you know what's great is he scored the first goal in Augusta Lynx franchise history. That'll always go down in the record books.
Don't bail out on us yet, because this morning we've got more to do.
Queued up next for Power Play, a marriage on ice. Lynx goalie Judd Lambert and wife Amy spend more time at the ice rink than they do at home. First this.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty, oh my, he's gonna fall.
Little Sherry is about to discover Charmin Ultra. It's softer than regular bath tissue, and Charmin Ultra is even soft enough for this. Facial tissue soft, and it's the strongest one, too. Charmin Ultra, where softness and strength form the perfect combination. Charmin, where would you be without it?
Aiken Junior Women's Club, News 12 and WAFJ invite you to take part in the 1999 Walk for MS. It's Saturday, March 27th. Registration starts at 8 a.m. at the Aiken County Library. Bring your feet, a friend's feet, bring a whole army of feet, and take part in the 1999 Walk for MS. You can call 641-1471 for more information. Let's get a step closer to finding a cure for MS.
And I returned home from work and noticed that 3 of my shrubberies had disappeared out of my hedge line. When I got out of my car, I saw that a big hole had just drawn them completely in. I started making calls, not knowing where to go. It took me a total of 67 calls to 3 county commissioners, environmental EPA, major runaround. And I did make one call to one other local television station twice, and I never heard anything back from them. And finally, one day, a new reporter, Tracy Sadigan, that had just recently joined Channel 12. Tracy came out with the cameraman on Tuesday, and it worked. Unbelievable. After the show aired, at my workplace, even in the community, people would stop and ask me, aren't you the lady that was complaining about the sinkholes? And we saw you on TV. We understand it was fixed within 24 hours. So it worked.
If you've been following this team all year, then you know the name Judd Lambert. He's been the man between the pipes for the Augusta Lynx, Paul.
And as the old saying goes, behind every great man is an even greater woman. Here is this week's behind-the-scenes report. If it could be said that the family that skates together stays together, then Lynx goalie Judd Lambert and brand-new wife Amy have many long years of wedded bliss to look forward to. Amy is the skating coordinator at the Ice Forum. She handles both group and individual lessons. She's a Denver native.
I actually grew up across the street from an ice arena, so I started skating when I was 5 and pretty much skated my whole life. So I really didn't have any knowledge of hockey.
It was that same arena in Colorado where Judd's college team practiced. That's how the two met, after she got over some preconceived notions about hockey players.
Figure skaters always stayed away from the hockey players because they just weren't. They don't have the best image for...
After 4 years of courtship, they married in July. Incidentally, Amy is more than just a casual skater. She competed in the U.S. Amateur Nationals against the likes of Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, then went on to perform with Dorothy Hamill's Ice Capades for 2 years. Now she's the wife of a goalie.
Obviously, I hope that he wins, and it's hard to watch if it doesn't go his way, but he really has a good disposition as a goalie. Like, he really doesn't get too... I mean, he gets upset with himself, and he gets upset, and he expects to stop every puck, but he's doing really well, and he doesn't really take it home.
Very understanding. She has no problem with... she understands what it entails, and right now she's putting in more hours at her work than I am at mine, so...
And leave it to News 12 to pry into their personal lives. Amy shared this about her husband.
He's certainly more quiet in a larger group of people, but at home he's a totally different person. He's pretty quiet, but there's definitely a different side to him that most people don't see.
A chatterbox. Oh, I don't know about chatterbox. I mean, I guess I tend to be a little shy in front of people. That not shy that I'm not going to speak, but not as outgoing as I am with people I've known, for however long, for some period of time.
And she let it slip that hubby plays the guitar in his spare time and is also working on his voice. How about it, Judd?
I'm not going to be booking myself for any gigs or anything like that, but it's fun. It's a good release.
Judd Lambert is only 2 years into his pro career. Raising a family is going to have to wait, at least until he can get a better gauge on how far he can go. But then?
I think that we both have ideas that we want to do things other than skating later on in life, but I do know that he'll stay involved in coaching hockey, I'll stay involved in coaching figure skating. It's been a big part of our lives.
I'd like to finish my hockey career, and I'm not sure how much longer I'll be playing, but I think I'd like to get that finished before we actually start a family.
Judd and Amy Lambert. The ice floor is their workplace. She teaching folks how to skate effortlessly. He forcing opposing players to give it their best effort to beat him in goal. Neat little couple there, and maybe I should have badgered her, Jer, for more inside info on her husband.
There isn't any. Judd's one of those quiet guys that just goes about his business. He doesn't do anything radical and crazy off the ice.
His forte is stopping shots on goal.
Absolutely.
All right, more to do here on Power Play, including next week's schedule. We'll be right back.
Wow, cool, awesome.
more than 250 interactive exhibits, the Paul S. Simon Discovery Theater, Science Store, and outreach programs. The National Science Centers for Discovery is an incredible environment dedicated to reaching America's youth with the wonders of science and technology. Join the mission. Discover Fort Discovery, the smart place to have fun.
This is Bob Barker. Some people think wild animals make good pets. Wolf Haven International, a beautiful nonprofit wolf sanctuary in Washington State, knows that wolves aren't pets. When these magnificent and misunderstood animals need a home, Wolf Haven helps. Call 1-800-448-WOLF. The wolves and I thank you.
There are many questions concerning education as we head into the new millennium. News 12 and our Celebrate 2000 sponsors are concerned, so we want to help you get the answers you need. Join us for the Education Challenge, Preparing for the Millennium, live March 25th at 8 p.m. on News 12. State and local school officials will be on hand to discuss the issues facing you and your child. Celebrate 2000 with the Augusta Chronicle, Foxy 103, 100.9, WGAC, and News 12, your news station.
And I wish everyone a hearty congratulations, because this television station has done a wonderful job for the community and continues to do so with a wonderful staff of people.
Here is the schedule this week, and no place like home. Well, we hope that can turn around and be the case. First off, Wednesday at Louisiana will be here.
And the Lynx have lost 3 straight to that team. Friday, Miami comes calling. Augusta 2-3 against the Matadors this season. And then Saturday, Paul, Greenville comes visiting, and the Lynx are 3-1-1 against the Growl this season.
Like always, if you want to go with a group of people in your family or at work, call early and get your tickets ahead of time. We do it every week. Check it out. And this is from the TV game, St. Patrick's Day. That's the one and only Laurie Ott.
I've never seen anyone go this fast down the ice, Paul. They really pulled her back.
You know, you're right. Usually they come up short, but maybe it was her form, the way she held her balance, and she darn near knocked the other guy, who was this restraining man, out of the arena. Mark Moranek, our weather guy, saying, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, that turned out to be a great feature, and I think Laurie really enjoyed it.
Laurie Ott, St. Patty's Day on the TV game. Jer, was it as good for you as it was for me this morning?
Absolutely, it certainly was. And let me put a plug in for our radio gig. Catch all of the Lynx action on Cool FM. They've been the team's flagship station all season long, Paul.
And a great job done as well all year long, if I may say so. For Jerry, my main man on the mic, I'm Paul Davis saying goodbye until next time. Another Power Play show, Jerry, is in the books.
All right.
Good morning.
News 12's Power Play, brought to you by International Paper, Jones Dealer Group, and Windsor Jewelers. Power Play is only on News 12, television home of the Augusta Lynx.